Hey, welcome everybody to Wednesday. This is not only the Wednesday when we do the how to build your business that we do every 2 weeks with Bob Bearden and myself. It just so happens to be the night before Thanksgiving. And with that being said, I absolutely want to take the time to wish each and every one of you happy Thanksgiving. Hope you have a fantastic day tomorrow, spending time with your family, and be absolutely blessed. So with that being said, let's get into what tonight's phone call is about. I can tell you that most of you received, I hope all of you did receive the email. And I'm going to ask a question here and in the chat, if you would, if you are a person that is already into Fund Saver Network, meaning you're a free member, please put a 1 in the chat. Please put a 1 in the chat. Got to make sure we have the right people in here this evening. Absolutely. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I see them. I see them. I see them. Okay. Awesome. 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 Now, for those of you that found out about this call, and it's okay if you're not in Fund Saver Network, if you haven't become a free member yet, can you please put a 2 in the chat? Put a 2 in the chat if you're not a free member yet. Put a 2 in the chat if you're not a free member yet. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So let's get this thing started. So just so everyone knows, because Thanksgiving happens to fall into this week, I want to remind everybody before we get started what's happening on Friday. Please understand on Friday we're doing a fun find. Now, they spent Monday, Tuesday, and today loading up products in the fun find. What does that mean for you? That means it's going to be huge. There's going to be a huge assortment of products back there. I can tell you again, there will be more jewelry again. I think I mentioned before that last Friday when they did the fun find, they only were able to get about half of it put in there. So there's a lot more coming this Friday and even more products on top of that. So watch your text, watch your email for Friday. It's going to happen. The doors will open at 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern. 11 o'clock Central, 12 o'clock Eastern. And if you're wondering where you go find this, you're going to want to go log into your account and you're going to go to fundsavernetwork.com and scroll down and you see this box that says Fund Saver Find. You'll see it. And I'll give you some advice that might help you if you're looking to shop fast. About, I would say, 3 minutes before it hits the top of the hour and the doors are opening, I would say get to that page, make sure you find that box, click the box, and if nothing happens, refresh it, click it again, refresh it, click it again, refresh it, click it again. And as soon as that door opens, you will be there. Hold on, Clyde. George is calling me. I guess he's trying to get in. Oh, no. Hold on. Hey, huh? You got kicked off. Okay, you got kicked off. Okay, I got you. That's funny. Clyde is the guy that lets people in for us while we're sitting here talking. So when he starts calling, going, well, something happened. So he's back in now. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me make sure he's here so he can continue to do what he's doing. Clyde George, Clyde George, Clyde George. Yes, there we are. Let me click more for you, sir. Clyde, you're now a co-host again, Clyde. Thank you, sir, for all you do.
Thank you, brother.
So I want to let you know, get ready. It's going to happen on Friday. But for tomorrow, I have paused all communications. So you won't get any communications about tomorrow night's opportunity meeting. There will not be one tomorrow night on Thursday. I'm not going to take it out of the school calendar. It's going to remain there, but there will not be a meeting tomorrow night. There will not be one. It's Thanksgiving. And I don't have to go remove one and it'll erase the year. And I got to start over. And we're going to leave it there. Okay. Everybody knows. Perfect. All right. So let's get this meeting started. First of all, it's my great pleasure, as always, where I get to bring in my buddy that I've known for a long, long time, that we've built things beside each other. You guys heard me talk about before, so I don't have to go into it again. Mr. Bob Bearden out of Louisiana. Bob, you want to say a few things before we get started?
Gobble, gobble. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I'm excited. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pike. We're right there, inches away So Ron and I didn't really have a conversation today to talk about exactly what each of us were going to talk about. So sure, we're just going to feed off of each other like we normally do naturally. Again, what I want to put out here is as we turn the corner on this amazing opportunity, launching officially, there are some killer trainers, coaches, presenters, or whatever in this community. So Ron and I are going to put together a little group of people that want to be able to provide value to this whole group on these Wednesdays and training and coaching and featuring, and then also those that are really good at delivering the information. Now, don't take offense if you're like, well, I want to present, but you've never presented before. We want the best presenters, obviously, presenting on Tuesday and Thursday for all of your guests. But if you want to be a presenter, if you think you got those skills and you want to get out there, please reach out to Ron, and then we'll put a little group together. We'll do a little Zoom. We definitely want to get that going because here's the reason why. Number one, this is not the Bob and Ron show. Number one. Number two, there's some fantastic leaders in here. Number three, we need some of you women promoting and presenting because, the demographics when people relate, and then also culture, right? So we need, multicultural. So as we continue to grow, there will be all of those things. But listen, if you're one of those people, ladies, um, please reach out to Ron so we can get that going. So, Ron, I'll let you go ahead and start out the night, and I'll feed off of you. I know I got a few things that I do want to talk about as we move into hopefully the last week before launch. So, I don't know if you
Perfect.
want to, talk a
Perfect.
little bit about that, or just how
I
we.
do. I actually do. Here's the good news, folks. Again, I talked to Shane today, and the good news is the last piece, and I think I might have mentioned this last night, but some of you might not have been there. The last piece of what's launching was put together and it was being tested today. So everything's finished. Everything's done. I didn't hear anything from Shane today, so that pretty much tells me nothing failed. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. But we're not going to launch with Thanksgiving. We're not. It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. And we want you guys to enjoy Friday when we do the fun find. But you better be ready for next week. Get ready. That's all I'm going to tell you at that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Get ready for next week. So, with that being said, folks, let's get this meeting done. Let's get this handled so you guys can go. If you're making your stuff this evening, so you just throw it in the oven tomorrow, I get it. Okay. So, I want to talk to you about when we launch. First of all, let me make sure I got the right people in the room again. If you're here at Fund Saver Network, not only to save money, not only that, are you also here to share and build a team and get paid? If you are, again, put a 1 in the comments. If you're here to get paid from Fund Saver Network, please put a 1 in the comments. Got to make sure I'm talking to the right people. Okay, we're talking to the right people. I can see that already. Okay, so be sure you have your pen and paper out. Get your pen and paper out. Give you a second to get that done. Most of you probably already have that done. This is being recorded, but for some reason, when you take copious notes, you seem to remember a lot more. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about is when we launch. There's going to be some strategies that's going to be at play when we launch. How many of you have watched the compensation plan already at least one time? If you have, put a 2 in the comments. Put a 2 in the comments. This is going to be audience participation night, by the way. Okay, 2 in the comments. Here's the real question. Here's the $1 million question. How many of you are confused? Put a 3 in the comments. After watching that, how many are confused about the compensation plan? It's okay. It's okay. We're going to open up the mic once I get through this and Bob gets through. We're going to open it up for questions because I know there's going to be some. I fully understand about there being some confusion about the compensation plan when you watch the video. 2.5. That's cute. I like that. And I understand because there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of things going on there. And I've talked to some some people that's been in the industry for quite some time, and even they, at some point, put one part in there, has tripped them up a little or a lot. It just happens. So what I wanted to talk to you tonight about, I want to talk to you about exactly how this is going to happen when we launch. Because let's be honest. For you, if you don't understand the compensation plan, and if you're confused about it, just one iota, just one thing, you'll never feel comfortable about explaining to somebody how we make money. You'll never feel comfortable about that. And that's okay. You don't have to learn this compensation plan. I would suggest that you do, because I'm a firm believer in, if you don't know the compensation plan, you really don't know how you get paid. And that's kind of a thing for me. But listen, I know a lot of people in my life that didn't care. All they knew was one thing. If I do the activity and if I go build a team and I help them build a team, I'll get paid. That's all I need to know. Just let me go do what I do. There's a lot of people like that, and that's perfectly fine. But I want to make this simple for everybody when we launch, exactly what really should be here if you're running across people that want to make money, or not even make money, but save, be able to shop and save. And we've mentioned it before, thanks to Mr. Bob Bearden, and break even. Okay, so let me explain to you why this is so important. You're going to find it difficult if you don't understand this compensation plan 100%. You'll absolutely find it difficult talking to somebody about how we make money. It's going to be difficult for you, and the minute it gets difficult for you, all I know is a confused mind freezes. It does nothing. And if you have a confused mind, you're going to freeze, and it's going to hamper your ability to do what you said you were here for, which is to make money and build a team, right? Now, when I say build a team, I want to go over the very first part of building a team, the very first thing you have to understand. Let's cover that first. So as you're out talking to people, and you're only talking to people about coming on board for free and about being able to shop for free, because we're so close now, folks, I'm just telling you. You still have the opportunity to tell people to come on for free. But here's the biggest part. When a person pops up in your team, no matter how they got there, because you get an email from the company and it tells you that someone just joined our organization with Saver Network. Every time somebody uses your link to come on board, you get an email. You get an email letting you know they're there. Now, not only do you get an email, you have the ability to go back into your back office and go where it says personally sponsored, click on that, and you'll see the list of everybody that you personally sponsored, okay? And if you open that list up, beside the brand new person's name that just came on board, is this little blue round circle, and it has a silhouette there. If you click that little blue circle that has the silhouette in it, it opens up that person's information. It opens up that person's name, email, phone number. Hopefully, they put the correct phone number in. Now, why is this important to you? Because if you're really here to build a team and you're really here to earn a fantabulous income, which will be done, it is up to you that when a new person comes on board, you have to reach out to them immediately. You got to understand something. When it comes to building a team in this kind of industry to go build an income, as much as you might hate it, I don't really know, but I'm trying to tell you, if you want to build a team, there's something you got to do. You got a relationship build. You'll never, well, I'm not going to say never. There's a possibility that you could go out and just put people in, and make a ton of money. But it's not, I don't say it's going to be done, because there's a thing that we talked about called the 80-20 rule, and 80% of your income will come from 20% of the people that came on board with you. You'll never change that rule. It's just the way the rule works. So every time somebody comes on board with you, you've got to immediately reach out to them. Now, I wouldn't suggest, unless you really know them, pick up the phone and call them when you see them come on board, right? If you don't really know them because you've got signage out somewhere and you got things going on and you got signs in the back of your truck or you're handing out business cards and people are coming on board and you see their name, but you don't know them, you still need to reach out to them. And what I'm going to suggest is this. You guys can do what you want. I'm going to suggest this. You have to do it immediately, because every day you let slip by that they don't hear nothing from you, by the time you do reach them, they're like, I don't know who that is. They won't even respond to your text. But if you hit them as soon as they come in and send them a text, and it can be something simple. It can be very, very easy. It can be, hey, Ron, it's Claudia. Congratulations on coming on board for Fund Saver Network. I just want to let you know I'm here to help you whatever you need. I'm here to help you whatever you need. I'm here to help you whatever you need. That's super important. Super important. Okay? And just write the way you talk. But at the end of the way you talk, introducing yourself, make it short. You got to have some type of call to action. It's got to be something. It's got to be, hey, Pete, it's Ron. Hey, listen, I saw you just join Fund Saver Network. Congratulations for coming on board. I want to help you get to wherever you want to be. I just got a couple of questions, and I want to share with you the things I know about the company. I got a couple of questions. I want to share with you the things I know about the company. So tell me, when is a good time that we can talk? I mean, obviously, I have your phone number. When's a good time we can talk? That's it. I don't want you to tell them anything, not yet. I want you to welcome them. I want you to let them know when you are, and you got to give them a reason why you're wanting to talk to them. Hey, I want to tell you everything I can about the company, but I got a couple of questions for you. When is a good time we can talk? Obviously, I have your phone. Now, they're going to read that, right? They're going to read it. Now, if they don't answer you, if they do not answer you, I'm going to make a suggestion. The suggestion to you is very simple. Please text them every day for 5 days. You're going to go, oh my God, they're going to hate me. No, they won't. They won't hate you. For 5 days, if you didn't get an answer, text them again. Second day, hey, Pete, it's Ron again. Listen, I'm just reaching out to you. I understand if you're busy. I know life gets in the way and things are going on, but you came on board Fund Saver Network. Got a couple of questions and I want to help you the best way possible. I want to share with you everything I know. When can we talk? When can we talk? What is a good time we can talk? I won't take much of your time. Third day, Pete, this is the third day I'm reaching out to you. I'm really trying to help you. Look, I just need to know, are you here to shop? And if you're here to shop, I got to share some things with you. If you're here to shop and save money, I need to share some things with you. Again, when is the best time you and I can talk? I won't take long. Then fourth and fifth day, you can mix those things up and whatever. Okay? After 5 days, folks, if you don't hear anything, don't try again. Don't try again. The reason that I'm telling you this, and you might be thinking, I don't want to do that for 5 days, Ron, and you don't want to make a lot of money either. This is big boy talk. This is big boy and big girl talk is what we're talking about. We're talking about you building a business. That's what we're talking about. If you're just out there sponsoring people and letting the people run that wants to run and pointing them to the Zooms, that's perfectly fine. You can do that as well, okay? All I'm trying to tell you is people always need a hand up, not a handout. And you're there to build a team and be the leader of your team and give them a hand up. There's something about Fund Saver Network that made them join. There's something about Fund Saver Network that made them click on your link and made them come on board with you. You got to find out what that is. Now, let's say they go, oh, let's just talk tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Okay, so now you got your first thing you need to do. Always contact them as soon as they hit your back office. As soon as they hit it. Because that's when they're the most excited, right? And they're wanting information. Once that person tells you, well, let's just talk whenever, whatever time. Okay, no problem. Now, what are you going to talk about on this phone call? Let me tell you what you're going to talk about on this phone call. First of all, again, you're going to welcome them. You're going to get to know them a little bit. You're going to have that preface talk. It's going to be, hey, I live in Houston. Where do you live, Pete? How long you been there? Awesome. Are you married? Got kids? I'm married. Got kids. Just have that talk, right? What did you do? You retired? You still working? Oh, yeah, I'm still working. Okay. So let me ask you a question. What is it about Fund Saver Network that made you excited where you wanted to become a member? What is it? Ask this question. What was it? What was it that did it for you? What I don't want you to do is I don't want you to get on the phone and go, Pete, I'm glad we got to talk. Hey, listen, man, I got to tell you something. This is the best company in the world. They got the best savings, 70, 90%, but that comp plan, Pete, I'm telling you, we're going to get rich. Don't do that. Don't do it. You don't even know Pete. Pete might be rich. You don't know. Don't do that. Ask Pete. Pete, thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Welcome to Fund Saver Network. We have our little talk, and I'm gonna go, Pete, I got a question for you. What was it that made you click that button and become part of Fund Saver Network? What was it that you saw? What was it that got you excited? Let them answer. Do not interrupt them. Let them answer and let them talk until they're finished. Listen closely to everything they say, because in that answer, you're going to find out exactly why they did it. Now, you might hear something, oh, I don't know. It just seemed like a good deal. That's why you became part of Fund Saver. So what is it you want to do? Now, if you get that kind of answer, Pete, I understand everybody's excited about Fund Saver Network because it's amazing. But let me ask you something, Pete. Did you become part of Fund Saver Network because you want to save money in shopping? Or did you become part of Fund Saver Network because you saw an opportunity as a membership company to be able to make money at sharing memberships? Is that what it was? Or was it both? Or was it both, Pete? You know what most people say? It's both. Both. Okay? Now, when you hear these things, it was both. Your immediate answer is very simple. You know what, Pete? That's amazing. I talk to people all the time. We have Zooms. Everybody does it for that reason, just like you. Everybody does it just like you. They want to save money and they want to build a team and they want to put money in the bank. It's funny how everybody does just like you. Why do I say that? Why do I say just like you? Because normally people want to belong to something. They want to do something just like everybody else is doing. They don't want to be a Lone Ranger. Very seldom will you find those people. Just like you, Pete. That's funny. Everybody wants to do the same thing. But Pete, let me ask you a question. I'm not sure, but I want to ask you this question. You know, most of us here at Fund Saver Network, we have figured out how to get our $25 membership for free every month. This is really important right now. Super important. You got to get this. Most of us here at Fund Saver Network, we've all figured out how to get our $25 membership free every month. Would it be okay if I showed you how that is? Would it be okay if I showed? Listen, I didn't say would it be okay by accident. That was purposeful. And you have to understand those 5 words is going to be in your vocabulary more than you've ever heard in your life. Because it's very non-invasive. And normally when you ask somebody, hey, would it be okay if it's not something deliberately going to hurt them, they'll always go, yeah, that's okay. So would it be okay if I showed you how we're all getting it free every month? What do you think they're going to tell you? They're going to say, yeah, that's okay. Tell me. Okay, awesome. Because everybody loves it for free. You know, being able to shop for free and build a team for free, and your $25 a month is free every month. Well, here's what we're doing. I know, look, I don't want to go into this big compensation plan thing with you. It doesn't matter, because if you learn this and we teach this to you and the people you bring on board, let me ask you a question, Pete. Do you know 6 people that like to shop and save money? Like you? Everybody write that down. Oh, it has been recorded. But Pete, let me ask you a question. Do you know 6 people that like to shop and save money just like you? I mean, that's why you're here. You told me that's one of the reasons. I'm sure you know 6 people, right? Right? You notice when I ask a question, sometimes I always go, right? Right? Because I'm edging them to go, yeah, right, right. I can't go. If I'm talking to you shaking my head like this, it gives you the tendency to go, yeah, yeah. Mhm. If I'm talking to you on a positive manner and I'm going like this, you're going to go, no. It's just the way people's brain works. Okay. So just remember, Pete, I'm going to show you how to get this $25 membership free every single month because you want to know how. You told me you want to know how, but Pete, do you know 6 people that just want to save money like you and shop and save 70 to 90% off stuff they buy? That's the question. I didn't ask Pete. Pete, can you make a list of everybody you know so we can 3-way call them and get them to join the deal for $25 and everybody make a bunch of money? That's not what I said. Not what I said at all. What I said was, Pete, do you happen to know 6 people that love to save money just like you, 70 to 90% when they buy stuff? The answer is, sure I do. Sure I do. Okay. Because Pete, the answer to getting that $25 for free every single month, just find 6 people that love to save money just like you. They don't have to build a team. They don't have to do anything. But when you find 6 people, yours is free every month because you're making more than it cost you. In commissions, you're making $26 a month and you're paying out 25, so you're $1 to the good. And I don't need to go into this big thing. I don't need to go into, well, we got the fast start bonus and we got I mean, we can, but that's at a later date. You're just introducing yourself to this person. You're trying to figure out exactly where they're at. You're trying to figure out how you can get them to help them get it for free every single month. And it only takes 6 people to do that. Because I guarantee you, how many of you in this room right now that just heard that think that's much easier to talk about than trying to explain the compensation plan? Drop a 1 in the comments if you agree. It's much easier to tell somebody, let me show you how to get 6 people. Do you know 6 people won't save money? And you can break even. The reason that I'm telling you this, because, thank you everybody. The reason I'm telling you this and why it's so important, because if you remember in the compensation plan, in the coded bonus, we talked about everybody going and getting 5. Everybody going and getting 5. And then you had to go watch this compensation plan on the coded bonus about, well, I got 3, 1 goes up, I got 5, 1 goes up. And now when they get it, that thing will drive you crazy if you haven't been around it for a minute. Okay. But I showed you how to get to $122,000 with everybody getting 5 with 13 cycles of that happening. You get 5, those 5 get 5, that's 25, those 25 get 5, that's 125. You do this 13 times and you were at $122,000 a month in the coded bonus. Okay. Now imagine what I just said. What I just said. Pete, I don't know if this is for you or not, but most of us here at this company, we figured out how to get our $25 a month for free every single month. Do you know 6 people, Pete, that love to save money when they shop? 70 to 90%. What I just did was I just added another one to that 5. Now it's 6. And if you think 5 was great at 122,000, I'm not even going to show you the numbers on 6. I'm not, because it'll scare some of you. Some of you will go, that's not even possible. Not even possible. It's possible. It is. If you get your people, if you get your folks, Bob, you got your hand up? Wait a minute.
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you, man.
Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead, Bob.
Dude, what you're saying is so right on point. You're asking questions, right? Asking questions is the most important thing. A couple things you did. Hey, do you want to do it this way or that way? That's perfect. The only thing that I do different is I phrase a question in a way that will only get a yes.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, hey, Pete, we found a way to get this membership for free. I'll bet you would want to get yours for free too, wouldn't you? And he's going to go, yes, right? If you say, would you like to get it for free? I mean, of course, most people, a leading question like that are going to say yes, but it does leave the door open to say no. But if you say, Pete, so many people here are already getting their membership for free. I'm sure you would want to get yours for free too, wouldn't you? And he's going to go, yes. Just like, hey, would it be okay if I sent you? He could say no. He could say, no, it's not okay. I don't want it. Most probably won't, right? Asking the question is better than not asking a question. If you're just talking statements, get good at asking questions. But you could rephrase that to go, hey, Pete, it would be okay if I sent you this short little video that explains all that, wouldn't it? And he's going to go, yes. And so, one of the things that really helped me years and years ago when I first got started in sales in the mortgage business was I went through a training about these yes questions. It's wouldn't you, shouldn't you, couldn't you, don't you, isn't it? Things like that. So if you rephrase these simple questions into a way where they say yes, here's the magic of sales. And this has been proven over and over and over again, written in hundreds of sales books. If you get somebody to say yes to minor agreements 7 times, more than likely they're going to say yes to the major question. You ready to get going? Whatever. Now that you know all that, I'm sure you're ready to get started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're already started. They're already a member.
Well,
They
I'm
want
just saying,
to-
if you're talking to somebody that isn't a member, you're
Right.
prospecting or whatever, you just lead them down the road, But I just wanted to throw that in there. Think of all the questions. And listen, here's a great exercise. Write down 20 to 25 questions that you would ask, whether it's about getting it for free, whether it's about joining, whether it's about just write down the questions. And along with these yes questions, Ron did it naturally. This is why he's so good. He did this naturally. Alternative questions are also in line with that. So, what did you like best? They're going to tell you, great. So let me ask you this question. Let's say you said, what did you like best? They tell you, great. They say, man, I love the fact that I can share this with some folks to save some money, and then I get to make some money in the meantime. Fantastic. So, Pete, I'm sure you know at least 6 people that would want to save money, don't you? He's going to go, yes. And then you can go, look, Pete, would you rather get this done fast or get this done slow? What do you think he's going to say? He's going to say fast, but you gave him an alternative thing. Ron did that 3 or 4 times during his explanation. Probably didn't even realize it because it's in his subconscious mind that this is just how he sells. There's a lot of people think sales is a bad word or whatever. I don't want to be a salesman. Listen, you're always selling something to somebody, period. Whether
Yeah.
you're selling your wife, your kids, whatever. So if you just learn these little tiny techniques, it's really the art of persuasion, not the art of manipulation, the art of persuasion, right? You're taking them down a path to get them to say yes, to do the things you want them to do, but they think it's their own idea. So anyway, I just wanted to throw those yes questions in there.
That's absolutely right. Now, what Bob just said, now remember, what I was discussing was somebody that's already joined you. You saw them in your back office and you're reaching out to them immediately. And what you're trying to do is introduce yourself. Now, if you want to go prospecting, that's different. I'm talking about people that's in. You saw them come in, right? You're going to reach out to them immediately. You're going to say, introduce yourself, do the little texting. Hey, I saw you come on board. My name is so-and-so. Good to meet you. I got a couple of questions, and I want to share with you everything that I know. What's the best time we can talk? Finally, you get them on the phone. When you get them on the phone, do your little small talk, get all that done. And the first thing you ask is, so let me ask you a question. What was it exactly that got you excited about Saver Network? Why did you click that button to become part of Saver Network? You got to let them answer that question. That's going to open the door for wherever you want to go.
And don't forget the second thing that you already said. Wow. Isn't that interesting?
Mhm.
That's what everyone says.
That's what everyone does. That's what
Or
everybody does.
me too. That's crazy.
Yeah, right,
That's
right.
what everyone says.
Yeah,
Ron, you're so right on point. People want to be a part of something everyone's doing.
correct, correct. And then once they say that, you can do what Bob said at that point. You can go, you know, Pete, all of us here at Fun Saver Network, we figured out how to get that $25 for free every single month. Wouldn't you want to do that as well?
That's another way to put it. Yep, yep.
And
Because
then
he's going to say
he
yes.
goes, yeah. Then you can say, well, Pete, is it okay if I show you how? Now
Yep.
it's so soft. It is so soft. Pete he's already part of it and he already feels part of something. And I'm being as polite as can be. I'm not being intrusive or not. Would it be okay if I showed you? Absolutely. Show me how. Show me how to get well, I don't pay 25 bucks. Well, Pete, do you know 6 people just like you that want to become part of Fun Saver Network and save money every time you buy something? I mean, I'm sure you know 6 people, right? See, there's another thing that Bob talked. I'm sure you know 6 people, right? Right. I do. It's just you got to get this. It's not that hard. Write this down. Please write this down and figure out how to use this in your life, not just in Fun Saver Network, but in your life. I'm telling you, it works every single time. Would it be okay if I?
Yeah.
Would it be okay if I, honey, I know you want me to take the garbage out, but would it be okay if I ran down to the store real quick and got that milk that you wanted before I did it? Yeah, it's okay. Be my guest. Hey guys, I know we're in a hurry to get out the door to go out to eat, but would it be okay if I take care of this one phone call real quick before we go? Yeah, it's okay. Go ahead. That's normally what people do. When you ask for permission, would it be okay if fill in what you want to talk about? Human nature goes, yeah, it's okay. Since you're being polite, I'm gonna be polite. Yeah, that's okay. That's just subconscious mind stuff right there. That's how that works. And as Bob said, it is sales. If somebody tells you this is not selling, they're lying to you
Well, sales is everything.
because you are selling everything you do. Guys, for those of you that are married or those of you that had a girlfriend, you sold her on you. It just happened. That's the way it worked. Or maybe she sold you. I don't know. It could have been the other way around. I got no idea. But somebody was selling somebody. That's
Mhm.
all I'm saying. So things don't happen by happenstance. Things happen by conversation, and things happen by you getting to know who you're talking to and them getting to know who they're talking to. It's kind of like this investment thing called KYC. Stands for know your customer. You got to know who they are, why they did it, what they want, and can you help them? Who they are, why they did it, what they want, and can you help them? And when can we start? Who they are, why they did it, what they want, can you help them, when can we start? That's all you got to know. She asked me to marry her 48 years ago. That's good. That's a good one. So this, okay, I'm going to stop because that's a lot of information I just put on you. A ton of information. Bob, I'm going to turn this over to you. And if you want to, hold on. Let me do this real quick. Let me do this, everybody. Bear with me, folks.
I love it when people say I'm not a salesman. And I'm like, are you married? They're like, yeah, I'm married. I'm like, you were a hell of a salesman at one point in your life.
Let me tell y'all a story. Please, I got to tell you the story. This is going to interest all of you. Some of you might have heard it from me. Everybody says, "Oh man, I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't want to sell anything." And you know, people that say that are people that are grown adults. That's the people that say that. So let me tell you, each and every one of you, at one time in your life, you were an absolute perfect salesperson. Did you know that? Every one of you was a perfect salesperson. Because here's what we know. When you're born and as you're growing up, you have this tendency with your parents to ask for things. And your parents, because they know more than you, because you're a child, they know what's good for you and what's not good for you. And if you ask them that you want this, oh, please, no, 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 you can't have that right now, maybe later, blah, blah, blah. You don't stop. You don't stop. You find new ways to ask. Yeah, but Dad, I just want it for a little bit. It's not going to last very long, but Dad, I just want it now. I'll mow the yard. You figure out ways to get it, right? You were an absolute perfect salesman as a young kid. Here's what happened to most of us. You're growing up, and as you're growing up, you have people tell you, hey, don't go around salespeople. They're bad. They just want to get in your pocket. They just want to get in your money. So now you're getting conditioned about salespeople. You're getting conditioned about how you don't want to be around salespeople. I don't want to go around salespeople. They just want to talk to me and get my money. They're just taking stuff from me. So you grow up and you go, oh, I don't want to be a salesperson. I can't be a salesperson. Why? You were. You absolutely were. So now as you grow up and you say, I don't want to be a salesperson, what do you find yourself doing? You find yourself going in the store, and as you're walking in the store, somebody walks up and says nicely to you, hey, can I help you? Oh, no, I'm just looking. No, I'm just looking. I got it. You know why? Because they're a salesperson. I can't talk to them. That's not what I do. Or maybe you do this. You go to car lots on Sundays, you can look at the cars because there's no salespeople there. You can just walk around and look at them. How many of y'all have done that? I've done it. I've done it. Walk around car lots looking at cars on a Sunday because there's no salespeople there. You've been conditioned in your life that salespeople are bad. There's nothing wrong with salespeople. Now, are there bad salespeople? Yeah. But just to put it all in one hat that all salespeople are bad, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. Matter of fact, I'm just going to be honest. The biggest incomes in the world are made from salespeople. Yeah, that's the people that decide, oh, I can be a salesperson. You know, I can be a salesperson because I like making a lot of money, and I like having my own time. That's why. Okay. So let me do this. I was trying to do something with you guys. Hold on one second. Let me try this again. It wasn't working for me a while ago. I don't know why. Kind of weird. Let me try it again. If I go over here to participants, it should pop up. There it is. I got it.
You looking to let everybody unmute?
Yeah.
You can do that, Ron.
Can
There's also a tab that says it's under.
No, they can do it now.
Okay. All right. Cool.
I believe everybody. Somebody try to unmute now.
I just wanted to say one thing real quick before we get in a bunch of questions. You know.
What?
Yeah, they can unmute.
Karen, what did you do? All right, you got it. All right.
I can catch them if they go crazy.
All right, cool. Thanks, Clyde. I mean, we're close. We're going to get the announcement, you know, for the 7-day window of paying very soon. And so I basically wanted to just share briefly, like I've got myself a spreadsheet of all my personals. So, I mean, I do it that way. You don't need to do it that way. You can go into your back office and click on each person and get their name and phone number. I just do it on an Excel sheet, so it's easy for me to go to and react. As soon as you get that notice that we know when we're going to pay, and it's going to start, you need to call every one of them. You don't need to text them. You don't need to email them. They need a personal phone call, right? Be excited, share with them what's going on. That's one activity that's coming up that you're going to want to do. The second thing is, do you want to pay for your membership in January? You probably don't want to. You probably want to be able to make at least 25 bucks. Here's a way you can not worry about your team growing. 2 new people. If you sponsor 2 new people every month, that's 25 bucks. Right? That's it. Just 2 new people. I like to break things down simple, guys, because like when I start talking to people about 10 and 15 and 20 and 30, they get overwhelmed. But 2 a month, I mean, 2 a month, I mean, come on, man. Anybody could do 2 a month, literally. You're just not taking action to do it. But that's something to keep your mind on. That's if they don't even buy from the value vault.
Right.
And oh boy, wait to hear some of the newer stuff I'm privy to. But you want to make those phone calls. That's one of the things you want to do. And when you're talking to them, what should you be telling them? Hey, we're getting ready to go live. This is exciting. You're going to have a week. If you don't pay within that week, it's okay. You're not going to be kicked out of the company or anything, but there's going to be people that go above you in the matrix. Like you don't want that to happen, right? You want to be in there where you're at. That's correct what I'm saying, right, Ron?
It is correct.
Okay. And then the last thing is get them plugged in. Make sure they're in school. Make sure they understand when presentations are like, because it's on now. And let's say we got a week before that happens. Okay. Let's just say that. Every one of us can get one more person before it starts. If you're brand new, you should be focused on 6 people before we start. 6. You're done. Like these are the little things I think people don't really do. They don't really write these things down. They don't write down little tiny simple goals. Like what is your goal for the month of December so that January kicks off killer for you? At least 6 personals. Because now you're never gonna you're gonna make at least $26 a month if no one else did anything, which is not gonna happen. Right. So, and set those goals, right? I mean, little goals, just little things. If you don't have something that you're road mapping with, you're just flying around in the wind like a leaf. Like, and that's never going to get you to where you want to go. But people think they got to do all this extraordinary stuff to get where you want to go. This is why I love networking, no matter what it is, because you can do a few simple things consistently over a long period of time and it will turn into a bunch of stuff. If everybody's doing a few simple things consistently, forget about it. The group is going to grow. And think about this. If all you ever did was sponsored 6 people, and now you might need 10 to find 6 that want to make money. You might need 15 to find 6 that want to make money. But if all you did was got it to where you found the 6 people that wanted to make money and didn't even sponsor anymore, you just worked with those 6 people until they had their 6, it's gonna just duplicate and this whole thing's gonna start growing out of control and you're not even gonna believe it. It's all about the traction. You know, if we had a 700-pound boulder that we were trying to push and it was impossible, most people would quit after, an hour of trying to make this thing move. And that's the problem. But as soon as you get that thing moving, man, it creates so much momentum. You can't even stop it. Before you know it, you're not even going to, people are going to be like, hey, look, I got this. And your group's just growing like crazy. But you have to be that leader. And I hate that word because it's just so generic. It's so overused, right? The leader, right? You're all leaders. You're here tonight. But you have to be that first initial person that is making this boulder push. And if you do that, remember, people will do what you do. So if you're doing a lot and you're doing lots of explaining and you're puking everything on them and you're trying to explain the whole comp plan and doing all that stuff, they're gonna feel like they can't do it or they don't want to do it. Simple, simple, simple. I used to get so aggravated at Ron when I would ask him a question and he would send me a video or he would send me something. He's like, the answer's in here. I'm like, can't you just freaking tell me the answer? But I understood as years went by that Ron grasped that concept long before I did, because not only did he get me to realize here's where the tools are, but he made me realize I can point my team into that direction so that I'm not answering these crazy questions all the time when they're right there on the tool. The tools do all the work. My friend Chris used to say, don't be a tool, use the tool. Right? It's so funny. It's so true, man. It's so true. But,
hey,
just
Bob,
to
do me a
recap.
favor. Bob, do me a favor. Now, listen, guys, I'm going to ask Bob to do this for you, and I want to keep it And I know he knows how to do it. If I say it, he'll know it. But this is kind of what I'm going to ask him to do is it's an advanced training, but this is going to be on video. He don't even know I'm asking him because we haven't talked. So Bob, I want you to explain to everyone here exactly what taprooting means.
Okay. In a nutshell, it just means you're helping everybody that's not in your group. However, taprooting is simply reaching down into the group, looking for the person that's raising their hand that says, I want to build, and for some reason I don't have any help. It could be 6 levels down. It could be 7 levels down. Um, Taprooting simply mean now that's taprooting with people that are in the group. You can also taproot in prospecting, right? So let's say I go to Ron and Ron says, that sounds cool, but okay, Ron, I understand you need some time to think about it. But hey, man, could you share with me maybe one contact that you might have that loves to save money or shop? Oh yeah, my friend Mary loves to shop. She would love this. I don't have any time to do that. Can I call her, Ron? Sure. So Ron gives me her number. I call Mary. Hey Mary, blah 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 blah. Mary says the same thing. That sounds good, man. My plate's really full. Well, Mary, let me ask you a question. I'm sure you know some people that like to save money, right? Can you just give me 1 or 2 referrals of people that you think might want to save money? And she says, yeah, my friend Jim, he loves to save money. Great. Do you mind if I call him? I promise you I won't aggravate him. So she gives me Jim's number. So Jim says, bro, this is amazing. I'm in. Right. So now that's prospecting taprooting. So now I go from Jim, I go, okay, Jim, hang on a second. I'm going to call you back in a few minutes. I call Mary. Mary, thank you so much for referring me to Jim. He is fired up and he's getting ready to get started. Now, I don't think it would be very fair. It wouldn't be right if I sign up Jim. You can sign up and then just forward me your link and I'll work with Jim. I'll get Jim going. You don't need to spend all your time, but I'll get Jim signed up. Is that something that you would want to do? Or surely you don't want to miss out on everything Jim's going to do, right? And she's going to say, whatever. So then I'm going to say, okay, well, hold on a second. And I'm going to call Ron. I'm going to say, Ron, listen, dude, I got to thank you, man. Like you introduced me to Mary. Mary was kind of like you, pretty busy. And Mary introduced me to this guy named Jim, and Jim is like freaking on fire. He's so excited about what we're doing at Fund Saver. And so I called Mary, and Mary said, you know what? I think you're right. Maybe I'll just go ahead and get my link. So, Ron, I'm calling you now because you would already have Mary and Jim's ready to build a business. And surely you don't want to miss out on any of that income, do you?
No.
He's going to go, no. And I'm going to go, look, dude, literally, I'm going to send you a link. Just sign up. It's 25 bucks. Now we're assuming we're already rolling, right? It's 25 bucks. And then that way I can get the link over to Mary and I can get the link over to Jim and I can get Jim started. Now, don't worry. I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to try to get you involved. If you want to get involved, fantastic. But listen, I'm going to work with Jim and we're going to tear this thing up. And you and Mary are both going to benefit from that. That's a tap rooting through prospecting. Tap rooting through the team is, hey, I'll tell you what, Claudia, listen, I saw you in the genealogy. I wanted to give you a call. We hadn't been connected yet. And I see that you were sponsored in here by Sandy, who sponsored Mike, who sponsored John. I don't even know if you know John, but I'm seeing your name in my back office. And I wanted to give you a call. Or maybe she's on a Zoom and we say, hey, listen, who wants to really build? Taprooting is reaching down and finding the people that want to roll.
It would
And
be like me calling Bob and going, hey, Bob, you got anybody out of your 100 people that you personally sponsored that's not moving, that knows you? Oh, yeah. Get them on the phone with me. Let's talk to them. Because they don't know me. They know Bob.
That's right, man.
And Bob's going to come on the phone with me and I'm going to hit him with all the questions I just taught you. Hey, why did you get on board with Fund Saver? I'm glad you're here, but why did you come on board? You just like Bob? Or what was it about Fund Saver you did? Why did you come on board? Well, I want to save money and I want to build a team. So let me ask you something. Bob, are you still there? Bob, has she started building a team yet? Bob goes, no, she hasn't started yet. I'm going to go, it's okay. It's okay. So So let me ask you, when would you like to start? What would be a good time to start? Do you know? Do you know how to get your $25 a month for free? Have you figured that one out yet? No. Is it okay if I tell you? Yeah, that's okay. Tell me. Okay, so here's what we got to do. First of all, you got to get plugged in. You got to plug in with Bob. That's the first thing we got to do, right? First thing. Bob's going to go over with you exactly how we get 6 people, and it's not that hard. I'm sure you know 6 people want to save money, and then you can get yours for free. Now, but here's what we're going to do for you. When Bob helps you get those 6 people, the way we just contacted you and helped you understand and get 6 people, we'll work with your 6 people too if you like. You know, you can introduce us to them and we'll start there. So all we're doing is we're taking people in place, we're lighting a fire under them, they're going to work, then they introduce us to them, then we go to work with them. It's compound numbers, and we're just digging in depth. You're going down in depth. That's all you're doing. Instead of you going this way all the time, you can continue to go this way, but you got to go this way.
That's why I love a matrix, man.
Because the money, whether you know it or not, the money is in the depth, not the width. It's in the depth. That's where the money is. Okay. It's like digging.
And Ron, I'll tell you what, you do that, that fire starts burning. Those 3 or 4 people that person that caught fire are above, guess what? They're going to go catch some fire. They're going to go get excited. They're going to start plugging in. They're going to start talking about it. I'm telling you guys, you can mark my words, but we just got a little kindling happening right now. Just wait until that fire starts to burn, and you're like, man, you know what? It's Tuesday, isn't it? I need to get on that Fun Saver Zoom. I haven't been on in a while. And you hop on, and there's 650 people on the opportunity. You're gonna be like, what the frick? Telling you that day is gonna come sooner than later, and you guys all have this opportunity now. It's just about getting better. I made a post the other day. You don't have to be great to get started, but you got to get started to ever be great. And so the way you're going to get great is just by plugging in and talking and mastering the listen. Objections, there's about 5 that you'll get. Like you overcome the basics, right? You got questions that you're asking people. It's going to be the same for every person. It's going to be the same. Somebody says, I just want to save money. Fantastic. You got a little arsenal of what to share with them. Hey, I want to save, of course, but I want to make money too. Great. You got a few questions. You start out with that. Would it be okay if I ask you a few questions? There's that. Oh, would it be okay again? Would it be okay if I ask you a few simple questions? Sure. I'm telling you guys, it's just, and at the end of the day, the whole thing hinges on relationship marketing. Yeah. It's not about, remember, people tune in to the WIIFM radio station. What's in it for me? If you're talking all about yourself, forget about it. You might love that you can make, you can taproot and help a bunch of people and get all these coded bonuses. You might love that. They might care less about that.
Yeah.
So if you just start blabbing everything about what you like, you might lose them. That's why the first question is, man, what got you excited? Or what did you like best about what you saw? Or, why did you get excited when you first saw this? Because you're finding out what they want. And if you can provide what they want, it's freaking over. And they know you're there. You're building a friendship. I always build bridges. I always talk about their family, find something common in place with them, get to know them. But that's just me. That's my favorite part about network marketing in general is the relationships and the cool people you meet that you would have never met before. Jim, how do you say your last name? Is it Alvey or Alvey?
Alvey.
Okay. So, Jim, you and I probably would never have met in our life ever if it wasn't for the Fun Saver Network. How cool is that? Right? It's the same with all of you. I would have never met Cheryl Church if it wasn't for networking.
I'd have never met you, Bob. I would have never met you if it wasn't for that.
You're right. You're right. It's my favorite thing. Now, if all you're doing is trying to build bodies to pay money so you can get paid, forget about it. It'll shrink up faster than you know. But if you build that relationship and you build that foundation, you're really building a friendship with people, they'll never leave. And the only reason things fall apart are because companies change the formulas in their products and they stop working. Companies change their comp plans. Companies go broke. They go out of business. That's the beautiful thing we have with FundSaver. The model makes it to where this business can never go out of business.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
Shane's creative mind. I thought I was creative. Hey, is Shane left-handed, by the way?
No, he's not.
I wondered, man,
He's
because
right.
lefties use their creative brain, but that dude never stops thinking. And we're here for the long haul, bro. If you guys, understand the relationship side of it once you get it going, and you're not just recruiting bodies to get paid, that's a key part of it all, man. It really is a key part. And I keep saying this, and I'm gonna freaking keep leaning on Shane. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna keep pressing on him and pressing on Ron. You'll see what I mean by the magic of relationships when we do our first event, because we'll all be together in person, high-fiving, celebrating,
We're going to have
inspiring.
our first event. Trust me. I'm down for that. I understand it. I get it. And the reason I understand it, because all of you right here, right now, you're taking all this information in. You're taking all of these notes, and you're thinking, and you're thinking, and you're thinking, and you're thinking. And the reason that's happening because everything right now is here. Everything is here in your head, in your head. The first event that we have, and we all go and we all get to meet each other, get to hang out and talk or whatever, it moves from here to here. It gets to your heart. That's when it happens. That's exactly when it happens. I understand right now it's here. I get it. What makes that happen is an event that we all get to go to, and it's going to happen. So we've been here a little over an hour. I want to take the time now. I think if you have a question, you don't have to raise your hand. You can absolutely just open up your mic and ask your question. We'll do our absolute best to talk. Let me stop the recording first. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, I want to do something real quick. 56
You want to leave the recording on or not?
No, you don't have to. Go ahead.